To understand a killer, we must step back. Serial killers rarely appear from nowhere. There are always signs, patterns, and moments that, when pieced together, paint a chilling picture. Collins Jumaisi Khalusha did not begin life as the Mukuru Serial Killer. He began as a boy, a son, a neighbor, a human being shaped by his environment. And in Kenya, like much of Africa, that environment is complicated. Poverty, crime, and corruption weave themselves into daily life. Communities live on the edge, where survival leaves little room for noticing those who slip into darkness. So who was Khalusha really, and how did his path diverge so drastically from ordinary life? Little is publicly known about Khalusha's early childhood. Reports suggest he came from Western Kenya, though details of his family remain sparse. What is clear is that his adult life placed him in Nairobi's informal settlements, areas like Mukuru Njenga, where opportunities are scarce and life is fragile. Neighbors described him in different ways. Some said he was quiet, reserved, almost forgettable. Others claimed he had a charm about him, a way of talking that made women lower their guard. It was this very duality, appearing harmless while hiding predatory instincts, that enabled him to lure so many victims. Psychologists who study serial killers note a recurring pattern. They are often skilled manipulators. They understand how to exploit trust, and Khalusha, by all accounts, had mastered that dark skill. But let's step back to the bigger question. Why do serial killers emerge at all? Criminologists point to a blend of psychological, social, and environmental factors. Some killers show signs of early trauma, abuse, neglect, or violence in the home. Others develop antisocial tendencies as they grow, lacking empathy or remorse. Many seek power, control, or thrill through killing. In Khalusha's case, we may never know the exact triggers, but his confession, killing 42 women, suggests compulsion. He didn't just kill once, he killed again, and again, and again. Each murder became part of a pattern, a cycle he could not or would not break. What made his crimes even more chilling was his choice of victims. Many were women from vulnerable backgrounds, struggling with poverty, sometimes marginalized, often unnoticed by society. Women who could disappear without immediate alarm, whose cases were rarely prioritized by overwhelmed police. In the world of serial crime, this is a grimly familiar theme. In the United States, the infamous Green River Killer targeted sex workers, believing they wouldn't be missed. In South Africa, Moses Sithole preyed on women seeking jobs. Khalusha too seemed to understand this. Society would not rush to find these women. And so he continued. Now let's consider psychology. Was Khalusha a psychopath? Psychopathy is marked by traits like shallow charm, lack of empathy, manipulation, and a complete absence of guilt. Listening to his reported confessions, one gets the sense that Khalusha fit this description. He admitted to killing dozens of women, including his wife, with an unsettling calmness. Imagine that. The person closest to him, the woman who shared his life, was just another victim to him. No remorse, no hesitation. This detachment from human connection is a hallmark of the psychopathic mind, and it is what makes serial killers so dangerous. They look like us, they walk among us, but to them, human life holds no value. What about his environment? Nairobi's slums are notorious for poor policing, corruption, and overcrowding. Crimes are committed daily, many unreported, others unsolved. In such an environment, someone like Khalusha could operate in the shadows for years. Think of it, a man killing dozens of women over time in one of Africa's busiest cities. And yet no alarm was raised until the bodies surfaced. This wasn't just about Khalusha. This was about a system that failed to connect the dots. Families reported loved ones missing, but cases were dismissed as runaways, domestic disputes, or unsolvable mysteries. Each missing woman was a warning sign. Together, they formed a storm. But no one put the pieces together until it was far too late. In serial crime analysis, killers often escalate. The first murder is hesitant, sometimes messy, but as time goes on, they become bolder, more efficient, more confident. Khalusha followed this same dark trajectory. At first, perhaps he was careful, cautious, but with each killing, his fear of being caught diminished. He developed a system, a method, a routine. The true horror of serial killing is not just the act itself, but the pattern, the fact that it becomes a habit, a ritual. For Khalusha, 42 women meant 42 repetitions of violence, a chilling reminder that evil can become ordinary in the mind of a predator. So who was Collins Jumaisi Khalusha? To the world, he was a neighbor, a fellow commuter, a man who smiled, talked and walked among ordinary people. But to 42 women, he was death. And what makes him even more terrifying is that we still don't fully understand him. Was he driven by lust, by rage, by the thrill of control? Or was it something deeper, a void within him that only killing could fill? What we do know is this: his actions left families shattered, communities terrified, and a nation asking how such horror could exist unnoticed. In the next part of this story, we turn to the killings themselves. How did Khalusha lure his victims? How did he kill them? And how did the police finally stumble upon the truth in Mukuru, Njenga? Because the discovery of the mass grave was not just a crime scene, it was a window into a nightmare that had been unfolding for years.